Right now your feet are trapped, cushioned, wrapped, sealed inside rubber and foam. You have not felt real ground in years, and somewhere in your bones, a memory is screaming to get out. Because for almost the entire story of your species, humans walked this planet with nothing between their skin and the earth. No soles, no straps, no protection at all. Millions of years of sharp rocks, frozen mud, burning sand, thorns, ice, and bare feet survived every single mile of it. That should not be possible, right? Here is where it gets strange. Scientists who study ancient bones found something they did not expect. Something that rewrites the entire timeline of when humans actually started covering their feet. And the answer is far later and far stranger than anyone assumed. Let's go back, way back. 2 million years ago, your ancestors are walking across the plains of Africa. No shoes exist. There is no leather, no rope, no woven sole. Just skin against dirt, skin against stone, skin against thorn bushes that could tear a modern foot to shreds in seconds. And yet they walked for miles, every day, hunting, following herds, migrating across entire continents on foot alone. How? The answer is written into the shape of the foot itself. Thick skin on the bottom, a natural arch that acts like a spring, toes that spread and grip the ground with every step. This was not a weakness waiting to be fixed by shoes. This was a machine, built by evolution, tuned for barefoot travel across almost any terrain on Earth. Anthropologist Daniel Lieberman studied how the human foot strikes the ground without footwear. What he found was that a bare foot lands differently than a shod one. Toe first, or on the outer edge, absorbing shock through the arch like a coiled spring. Add a rigid shoe, and that natural shock absorption changes completely. In other words, your foot did not need protecting. It already had its own built-in armor. Calloused skin thickened exactly where pressure hit hardest. No factory, no tools, just repetition and time. So if the foot already worked so well barefoot, here is the real question burning under all of this. Why did humans ever bother inventing shoes at all? This is where the story takes its first sharp turn. For hundreds of thousands of years, there is no evidence of footwear anywhere. Not a single scrap. Homo erectus walking out of Africa into Asia, barefoot. Early Homo sapiens spreading across warm coastlines, still barefoot. Even Neanderthals, tough and cold adapted, show no clear sign of shoes for most of their existence. Then something happens. Around 40,000 years ago, give or take. Anthropologist Eric Trinkhaus was studying ancient toe bones when he noticed something bizarre. The small toes of humans from this time period had suddenly become thinner, weaker, while their leg bones stayed just as thick and strong as ever. That mismatch should not happen naturally. Weak little toes. What could cause that? Trinkhaus had an answer, and it changed everything. Bare feet grip the ground constantly. Every step curls the small toes slightly, building strength in them over a lifetime, the same way lifting weights builds a bicep. But wrap the foot in something stiff, something with a sole, and the small toes stop gripping. They stop working as hard. Over generations, they get weaker. The only explanation that fit the evidence was footwear. Real, structured footwear, changing the shape of the human body from the inside out. Which means somewhere around this exact moment in history, something pushed humans to start wrapping their feet for the first time in the entire existence of the species. What was it? Look at the timeline. This period lines up almost perfectly with brutal ice age conditions spreading across parts of Europe and Asia. Frozen ground, snow, cold that no amount of thick skin could survive without help. This was not comfort. This was not fashion. This was survival at the edge of what a human body could endure. Picture it. A hunter, deep in an ice age winter, chasing prey across frozen tundra. Bare feet on ice do not just hurt. They stop working entirely. Frostbite sets in within minutes. Nerve damage follows. A hunter who cannot feel his feet is a hunter who cannot outrun a predator or outlast a storm. So someone, somewhere, wrapped animal hide around their feet. Maybe out of desperation. Maybe by accident. And it worked. It kept them alive one more freezing night than the person who didn't. That single decision may have been one of the most important survival technologies your ancestors ever created. And it left almost no physical trace because the material itself simply rotted away. Here is the twist that most people never hear. The oldest confirmed leather shoe ever discovered is only about 5,500 years old. Found preserved in sheep dung inside a cave in Armenia. A single piece of cowhide, shaped around a foot, laced up like a moccasin. But Trinkhaus's bone evidence pushes real footwear back to nearly 30,000 years before that shoe was ever stitched. Which means for tens of thousands of years, humans were already wearing footwear that left absolutely nothing behind. No leather, no plant fiber. The only proof that survived was hidden inside the bones themselves the entire time. Think about that for a second. An invention so critical to human survival that it reshaped the human skeleton. And almost nobody knew it happened until scientists looked at toe bones under a microscope. Now here is where the story gets even stranger. Shoes did not spread evenly across the world. In warm regions near the equator, many populations kept walking barefoot for tens of thousands of years longer because they didn't need protection from ice. They needed grip, flexibility, and the natural toughness bare skin already provided. Meanwhile, populations pushing into colder northern territories adapted footwear fast because the alternative was death, frozen feet, amputation, or simply never making it home. Environment, not culture, not fashion, decided who wore shoes first. And once footwear existed, it never stayed simple. Podiatrist and footwear historian William Rossi spent decades studying how shoes evolved once they appeared. And what he found was that footwear footwear almost immediately became more than protection. It became identity, status, power. Think about what that means. The very first shoes were built purely to survive frostbite. Within a few thousand years, shoes were telling the world who you were before you even spoke a single word. By the time you reach ancient civilizations, shoes had already split into a language of their own. In ancient Rome, certain sandals marked citizens apart from those forced to walk barefoot as a sign of low status. In parts of the ancient world, the height, color, and material of footwear silently announced wealth, rank, even religious role. A shoe was no longer just something between your foot and the ground. It was something between you and everyone watching you. Now bring this all the way back to today. You wake up, you put on shoes without a single thought. You do it automatically, the same way you breathe. But that motion, sliding your foot into something built to protect it, is the end product of a story that started in Ice Age deserts and freezing tundra, written into human bones long before it was ever written into leather. Every sneaker in your closet, every boot, every sandal, all of it traces back to one desperate, freezing moment when a human ancestor wrapped animal skin around their foot just to survive one more night. And here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. Your feet are still built for the ground. The arch, the spring, the natural grip, all of it is still there, hidden underneath decades of cushioned soles. Modern researchers studying barefoot movement have found that thick modern shoes can actually weaken the same small muscles trincas found weakening in ancient humans thousands of years ago. The exact same trade-off, protection in exchange for natural strength. You are living right now inside the same evolutionary bargain your ancestors struck in the Ice Age. Just newer, softer, more comfortable, but not fundamentally different. So the next time you slip on a shoe without thinking, remember what that motion actually is. It is not just getting dressed. It is repeating the oldest trade your species ever made, trading raw contact with the earth for one more night of survival. And somewhere, underneath all that rubber and foam, your feet are still trapped, still waiting, still built for ground they almost never touch anymore.